Lori here. Today I wanted to show you how to make something a little different. I have a friend who opened a hair salon with another friend of hers not too long ago, and I have been trying to figure out what I can make for their door that would be reflective of their salon. So their salon is named Magnolia, and I've been trying to figure out how to get it in a wreath, and I just haven't really found anything that I really liked. And I found this lady on Facebook. I think it's Wood Ideas by Dory, D-O-R-E, and she has these signs. And I decided, oh, I'm going to do that. It has this little rail down here. So I'm going to put some deco mesh, and then I have all kinds of cute little ribbons. They have a lot of this teal color in their salon. So I also have magnolia flowers and little leaves. So I thought I would go ahead and show you what I'm going to do, because it's a little different. And I thought it would just be fun to do something a little different. It is, in my mind, it's not exactly a wreath, but it's pretty close, because it still hangs on your door. You're still going to have deco mesh and ribbon in it. So, but I wanted to show you how I'm going to start it, because when you get these, they come unfinished. So I've decided what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to paint it white. So I've just got this little spray can of white, and I'm going to paint this, and then when it's dry, which will probably be tomorrow, I'll come back and we'll start working on this, because I think this is going to be really fun. We'll do that, and then I'll come back and we'll start decorating it, because I think that's going to be fun. I haven't done one of these before, so this should be fun to do while you're watching. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, so I've gotten the letter painted. I just painted it white. I did paint the back and the front. So this is where, of course, you put any decorations that you're going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dowel and just measure out about how long I need it to be. Say about right here. This is just a wood dowel, so I'll just cut it off. I want to be careful. I want to put everything on this, and then I'll put it on here. So that way I don't have to worry about accidentally breaking something, because that would be terrible. So I'll put my letter aside. And this is going to be a combination of deco mesh, ribbon, got lots of ribbon, and flowers. So magnolias, because their shop is called Magnolia, of course I wanted to put magnolias on it. So we'll get started. So this, of course, is our base. So that's what we're going to work on. Now this, I have two different kinds of mesh. I have the poly burlap. It's a 10 by 10. And then I have the foil deco mesh. And it's in that kind of teal color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make ruffles. I'm going to make them 20 inches. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need. So I'm just going to cut one of each, and then we'll see what it looks like. So we'll just go on our trusty mat here. Get a clean edge. There we go. Alright, now we can measure out 20. So I'm going to make 20-inch ruffles. So I got these cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my ruffle. Okay, there's one. And I have kind of the tan colored pipe cleaner, and then of course the kind of bluish teal color. So let's see, do I want it to go this way? I think I want it to go this way. So I'm just going to take my pipe cleaner and wrap it around my ruffle and the dowel. So I'm just going to wrap them together. I want it to be pretty tight, because I don't want it to come off. Okay, so there's one. Let's see, I think we'll probably need 2 of each is what it looks like, but we'll see. So I'll just do the same thing. I'm just gonna scrunch it up in the middle to make my little bow tie. There we go. Alright. And we're just going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to take this little dowel, take our little pipe cleaner. I think I'm actually gonna, I didn't do this on the other one, but I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and twist this pipe cleaner a good couple of times before I get it on the dowel, because I think that will help get it a little bit tighter. Now I'm just going to place it right next to the other one. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, see, I like that better. See, that makes it a lot tighter. So then when I twist it on the back, I'm going to twist it pretty tight. There. So I think I'll actually do that with this one. And so when I put this on here, see, I want it to extend past over here. So I will put it as close to that edge as I can. Like that. There. Okay. And we'll cut a few more. Okay. See, now if I was going to put ribbon on these ruffles, I would have put my pipe cleaners up this way. But since I knew I was going to do bows, I went ahead and did that because I won't put the bows in there. Okay, so doing our ruffle. This will be our last ruffle. I don't think we'll be able to fit any more after this one. So, just going to use my pipe cleaner. Pull it tight. Okay. And I'm going to tie it onto that dowel. I like that. So let's see. we bring this back. Okay. So I think that's going to look really cute. Go on the back here. So I'm just tying the two ruffles together, little pipe cleaners. Okay. Alright, just like that. Okay, so now what I want to do, make sure I have all my spacing right. That looks good, because I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put a dab of glue on these just to try to keep them in their place. So I'm just going to put the glue right over the pipe cleaner onto the wood. So see, I just put a dab of glue on these, and then I'll just kind of set that aside. And one thing we're going to do that I'm going to use to tie on to that letter. So I'm going to take a pipe cleaner, fold it in half. I'm going to put it at the end of the dowel. Make sure you can see this. Right there. I'm going to tie it on, tight as I can get it. And then, I'm going to take a little of my floral wire. I'm going to tie that around it, just to give it a little extra support. And on top of that, we're going to put some hot glue on it. So that ought to keep it in place. Because we certainly don't want to get all of this stuff on here and then it slip off the end. So that would be terrible. Okay. So got one side done. Alright, let's stick that glue on there. I'm going to glue that down pretty good. There we go. Let you see. And let's do the other side. And that way when we're ready, we can just put it right on. Okay. So, just going to go to the end of the dowel. And I want it to be as close to the end as I can get it. So, without it coming off like that. Okay. Because once I get everything on here, I don't want to be trying to get this on. And I certainly don't want to mess with the ruffles, because you know, the more you touch it, the more it frays. So now I've got my floral wire. I'm just going to wrap that around it. Okay. There we go. And I'll just glue it pretty good. There we go. Alright. So this piece we can set aside for now. And we're going to work on the terry bow. So we're going to use Pro Bow the hand. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Alright, so this is Pro Bow the hand. And I don't know if you've seen these before, but this is a really great tool for making bows. And there's nothing wrong with using this. I've often used my hands, but you know, for a bow like this, with it being so many ribbons, it's just better to use something like this. So the Pro Bow comes with all these little holes in it. Make sure you can see. This is the large model. And then it comes with these little, what they call fingers. So we are going to do C. And I'm going to put my little fingers in each one of these little holes that we're going to use. I have 4 2.5, and I have 2 1.5. So one of the things that the Pro Bow comes with is this spool holder. So this will hold your ribbons. So what you're going to do with this, and I want this. Okay, so now that I have all of my ribbon on the spooler ready to go, we will start with the bow. So to make the bow, you're going to need 2 pieces of wire, floor wire. And you want the thicker, the 26 gauge. So I have one piece that is 22 inches and one piece that's 24. So the 24 inch we're going to use first. So I'm just going to set it right here. And we're going to take our ribbon, our first ribbon. I want to use the small ribbon. Okay, and I'm just going to cut a dovetail on it. And I will tell you that you do not have to do this. So I'm doing a bow in the center, but you don't have to do that. Not everybody does that. If you don't want to, just take that little dowel out and just do it without. But I like to have a little centerpiece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by figuring out how long I want my tail. So I want to go from the middle to the B. So that is about 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch this up like that. And I'm going to take this longer wire and I am going to twist it around twice and make it tight. So, see, I've just twisted it around. Now the thing to understand with this, the way you make with this Pro Bow, is that you want your ribbon, your pretty side, your pattern side, to be facing this direction. Because this is the top of the bow, this is the bottom of the bow. So you want all the ugly down here and all the pretty up here. So, now that we've gotten that, what we're going to do is we're going to go around. Whoops. Sorry, I got pinched. Okay, so we're going to put this here on our peg. We don't want it to be all the way at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bottom wire and I'm going to wrap it right around the top. And I'm going to leave a little bit because we're going to have to take that off later. I'm going to take the top one and go down. Here, there's a little nail at the bottom of this. And then I'm just going to slip the wire underneath the bow maker. So now that I've gotten that done, I'm going to take my second piece of wire. We're going to use that in just a minute. I'm going to take this ribbon. I'm going to go around this middle peg. I'm going to come back to where we started, pinch my ribbon right here, and twist it. And then I want to take this wire and run it. See, I want these 2 pieces to be touching right here. And I'm going to run the wire underneath it, whoops, like that. Because, see, I have these 2 ribbons touching so that I can make my bow. Then I'm just going to tighten that. I'm going to put it in between right here. Okay, so that's our first. And then I'm going to cut this one off and dovetail it at the B. Okay, and now I'm just going to move it out of the way. So you're going to be coming back to this point where we have this a lot. So I'm actually just going to take this ribbon off the spool because I know I'm not going to use it again, and set it aside. Okay, and I'm going to start on my next one. It kind of came out. Alright, here we go. So I know I want to go from the center to C for how long I want it to be. So, well, let's dovetail it first. So let's do our dovetail. Okay. Then go from C. See, now I'm just using this little nail as my guide. So I'm going to pinch it up right there. I'm going to put it in between this wire, and I'm just going to secure it on there one good time. And I'm going to move this out of my way, and I'm going to start on the right. So I like to take my two fingers right here and use them to guide it up to that first finger. Then we're going to come back here to the middle. Whoops. Okay, pinch it in the middle, turn it with your hand, and you can use your thumb to hold this in the center. And the reason that we are twisting it is because we want that pretty side to come up again. So then I'm just going to go ahead and tighten this down with my wire I have here in the middle. That's why you have this wire in the middle. And then I'm going to go up around the next finger. Like that. So you see, we're just coming up, going around, these fingers coming back, pinching it, and twisting it. And then we use this little wire that we have going up and down to hold it in place. So, pinch, twist, like that, and then use this wire, tighten it down to hold it in place. And then I will come over here, so I want it to go to C. And I will just pinch it in half and make my dovetail. And then I can take this and move it out of the way. So far we have 3 little loops on our bow. We've used 2 ribbons. So we'll move on to the next one. So the next ribbon I have is a 1.5. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to dovetail it. I'm going to go to C. See, now I want to keep one of these wires up and one of these down. So go to C, pinch in the middle, put it in my wire, twist it down one good time. Okay. And then I'm going to go up to the next finger, like that. Make sure this wire is going up and down. Pinch it. Give it a half twist. I'm going to hold it with my thumb. And then go back around the second one, like that. Whoop. Bring it back to the middle. Pinch it again. And then give it a half twist. And then I'm going to take my wire and just tighten it down there. See, that's why this is so great, because you can be in the middle of your bow and go eat dinner or go to the bathroom or whatever comes up. Okay, so just gonna do that and then push that out of the way. So see, that's why it's so important to keep this one going up and down. So we're done with that ribbon. We can move it away. And we'll go on to our next ribbon. So we'll do our dovetail. We'll go to C, which I don't know if I told you this, but that is 7. So I'll pinch it in the middle, wire it down one good time. This just really helps you to be able to concentrate and get it back in the right spot every time. So we'll go up around this finger, bring it back to the center, pinch it, twist it so that our pattern's up. Go around that finger. See, and I'm just holding this in the middle with my thumb, coming back, pinching, twisting, push it out of the way, and then tie it down. So this time I want to tie it pretty tight. There we go. And then I want to dovetail it right here. Okay. And then I'll move that one out of the way. So you see, all of our front of our ribbon is facing up this way. So that was our, is that our 4th ribbon? That was our 4th ribbon. So now we have 2 more ribbons. So I'm actually going to use this ribbon next because I want this to be at the top and at the bottom, so that it gives that little splash of color. Alright, so I'm going to keep with the same thing. I'm going to go to C in the middle, pinch it, tie it on one good time. Okay. And then use my fingers to guide it to the next. Okay. Bring it back to the center. Pinch it. Twist it so that that pattern's up front. And then go around. That's why the wire is wonderful. Because if your peg falls out, everything is still in place. So, did the next one. There we go. Come back to the center. Pinch it. Like this. Twist it. Move that out of the way. Then just take our handy wire and tie it off. There we go. Now we can dovetail this one. There we go. And move that out of the way. Alright, so now we are on to our last ribbon. We still have this wire going up and down. We're gonna take this and dovetail it. And then go to C, again, pinch it in the middle, put it one good time in our wire, like that, and then go up around our finger, pinch it in the middle, then I'll start holding it with my thumb, twist, go up around that finger, oops, come back to the center, twist, and we're going to go around the last 2 fingers this time. So we'll come back to the middle, pinch here, twist it so that pretty side's out, go back around, oops, back to the center, pinch, and twist. Okay. So I've got my wire and I'm just going to tie it down really tight. Okay. So now I will dovetail this. Oh, look what I did. Might help if I did it the right direction. Okay. Now that we've gotten all of this on here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to pull that wire off, and we're going to pull this bottom wire off, and we can start pulling our ribbon off. So that's what it looks like. And I know it looks like a hot mess, but what you're going to do is you're going to take this now and fluff it out. So I also have the fluff box. And what I will do is I will take that wire that we first started with, and I'm going to go down. I'm just going to tighten it up really good just to make sure all that ribbon's going to stay together. And then I'm going to tie it around. See, there's a little peg here. Okay, so I'm going to take this. There's a little hook down here, and I'm just going to put my wire in there, twist it around one good time, and then there is a nail head, and I'm going to twist it around there. And what that does is it will hold it in place so that I can start fluffing. So I'm going to pull these two in opposite directions like that. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go tail one side, bow other side. And then bow this side, tail this side. Like that. And the reason that this box is wonderful is because, first of all, it's really heavy. And you can put your bow down and you're not trying to hold it and fluff it at the same time. So it just makes it a lot easier. So we've got those two going. We'll go to our next one. So we'll go tail front, bow back, bow front, tail back, like that. Okay, and then we will do tail front, like that, bow back, and then bow front, tail back, like that. It really does make it a lot easier to work with it being on this fluff box. So, again, tail front, bow back. Okay. Bow front, tail back. And then I'll just move these around. See, the reason I like this terry bow is because it has all of these little tails in it. I like that. Okay. So fluff those out. Okay, so now we're at the last part. So we're gonna go tail up, bow back, bow up, tail back. And then these two bows I'm just gonna leave kind of in the middle. There we go. So now all I'm gonna do is fluff up all my bows like this. Kind of move them around. Move my little tails around so you can see all the colors. Like this. Fluff that bow up. Okay. Okay. That. Separate those. Put these out. This course is like any other bow. It does take a little while to fluff it up and get it where you want it, but that's okay too. I think I'm just gonna, oops, look, I forgot to dovetail that. Okay, there we go. So I want to keep that in the middle. I'm gonna put these on the opposite sides. Like that. Okay, I want these to be here and these to go here, like that. Okay, and then I will do this, go in this direction, and this one go in this direction. See, now all I'm doing is going back and forth. Then I'll put the tails right there and right there. Okay, so now I want to go this direction. So I've already got this one in the right place. So that one and that one. There. Okay. And then these two are going to go here and here. Okay, let's see, where is that one? Oh, there it is. So I'm just moving these little tails right behind where my bow is. So, like that. This one goes here. Okay, that one goes there. That one goes there. This one goes here, 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 and there. There. So then when we put it on here, it's going to be going in all directions. So that's why I like this so much. That's why I like this bow so much. So once I get it where I want it to be, how I want it to look, then I will just take it right back off of that nail and twist it back off of that hook. There we go. Alright, so there we go. This bow right here is going to go at the top. And I wanted to show you what that's like. So I thought I had my white little string, but I don't. So I'm just going to show you this for demonstration purposes. So I'll have to go find my white little rope. But what you do is you need two pieces. So So what you're going to do is you're going to take your twine or string or whatever you're using. Let me see. There we go. And I'm just tying it in the back. And then what I will do is I will come back and put some hot glue on it to keep it from moving. Make sure it's really tight. So then, see, and that's why I wanted the white ribbon. So string. I will go find my white string, but can you see it's right? So it'll be like this. And you do the same thing on the other side. Because this wood is pretty thin, so normally I would put a hole in it and run my string through there, but this wood is thin, and I don't really want to run the chance of having a problem. So that's what it looks like this. Let me move it up some here. And then what you do is you put your bow at the top. So when it's hanging, you have the bow at the top, like that. And I'll just tie the bow onto the string and make sure there's a good amount to hang on a door. So that's how you do that. So that's what we did our bow for. So now that we've gotten that done, we can figure out what we're going to do with this. So I have magnolias and some magnolia leaves. And I know for sure that I want some magnolias in here. So what I will do, and I really like this because this has a lot of greenery on it. The magnolias are not gigantic. So I'll go ahead and start cutting some of this off. And I'm going to leave some so that I can attach it to the deco mesh. I'm going to cut all this greenery off because I want to use all of this. That leaf is kind of too small, so I'll probably just put this aside because I don't know if I told you this or not, but I save all these little types of leaves because I will take this see, this is the wreath I just made the other day, and you see how in the back you can see where all of these little wires are. Well, push them together and you just take a leaf and you just glue that leaf right on top of there. You see? So I save things like this because I'll use them when I'm cleaning up the back of a wreath, because it's very, very convenient and it covers up all that mess. So I'm just going to kind of play with this and see how I want it to look. The one thing I need to decide is if I want to put any ribbon behind that. So let's see. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is make it, let's make it about maybe 12 inches. Okay, we'll do this one 12 inches as well. So just cut it off in the same place. Dovetail my ends. Okay, just gonna line them up pinch them in the middle and do my wire around it. So, just gonna twist that wire, make it real tight. Okay, so then I'm just gonna spread these apart like this. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to take our wire and we are going to put that wire from this ribbon around our magnolia, our big magnolia. So see, I'm just wiring it down here at the bottom. Okay. And then I'll just bring the ribbon back around so that when I put it down, you'll be able to see a little bit of the ribbon from behind. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to see if my glue gun's hot. Probably not. Nope, not quite yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, and I'm going to glue them down here to the base like this so that there's some leaves. And I'm going to do that here, here, and for sure here. I don't know if I'll do one at the bottom. Like that. And then when I put it down, it will be ready to go. So I'm also going to put a little bit of hot glue around this where the ribbon and the flower meet so that they won't come apart. Okay? So while that's heating up, we can take the tags off of our little leaves here. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna cut some off of these. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see if it's hot yet. There we go. So I'm just going to put a good amount of glue. And I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to glue it right under here to the base of the flower. Like that. Give that glue a second to set. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little leaves here. Gonna put a little glue on them. Okay. Woo, hot. It got on the bottom side. Okay. I think they're just kind of too big, so I'm going to take a little wire. Oops, stuck to my thumb. And I'm going to wrap that around to keep them in place while the glue is setting. So I'm just going to wrap my wire around, because you're not going to be able to see this, so it'll be fine. Okay. Okay, I got 2 wrapped. So let's see if we can get another one on here. There we go. Alright. So we definitely need one in the back here. So let's put one here. Let's do it. Whoops! Right here. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I will put a dab of glue on it. And place it down like that, and then take my wire, whoops, and run my wire across. That way that glue has a chance to set. Okay. There we go. So, let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's pretty. There. So now, let's see, does that look like the middle? Yes. So, I'm going to flip this over like that. And I'm going to use a zip tie to tie this down. To my little dowel. That way it's not coming off. There we go. And I'll just kind of move my ribbons around one more time. Make sure they're where I want them to be. My leads are in place. Okay. I'll do the same thing. I'll just figure out, see, like that looks really cute. So, whoop. Ah, here we go. I was looking for my wire. So I'm going to wire these together. Just right in here. Right there. Okay. Alright, there we go. So now we have 2 ready. Like that. And these little ones I'll probably stick down at the end. So I'll just hold those until we get down to that part. I think I want to do this ribbon. So I'm going to dovetail it. Let's just do 12 on this as well. So because I'm only going to be cutting a few, I'll just do it by hand instead of getting out my tool. Alright. Now I want to find the center. And one thing I could have done with that last one that I didn't, that I think I'm going to do with this one, is I'm going to cut a little notch so that I can move these ribbons around a little bit better. So, just going to cut like a little, almost like a triangle right in the middle. There we go. Same thing on the other side. Okay. And then I will put my little wire through there. Now I'm going to pull it really tight and twist. And all that's going to do is make it so it's easier to move these around. That's all it's going to do. So now, and it will also make it so that I can kind of wrap it around the flower a little bit. So, just going to use the same wire that I have around the ribbon and wrap it around the flower like this. Okay. I'm just wrapping it around so you can't see it. There we go. Now, when I move these ribbons around, it'll be a little bit easier to get them where I want them to go. Like that. There we go. So when we put it down, it'll look like that. I like that. Okay, so we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the large flower. I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to take a zip tie. And I'm going to tie it down to the base. Okay. So once I get it tied down, then I'm just going to come back and move these ribbons around so that they're kind of encompassing the flower. Okay, and we'll do this one. Okay, so we've gotten those on. Now I'm just going to put in some little pieces. And I'll do the same thing. I'll just run them through to the back and tie them down. So like that. Kind of. And then when I feel like everything is where I want it to be, I'm just going to bring my letter back over. And I think I'm going to tie it like maybe through this one and this one. So remember we made those pieces that we could use to tie it on. So I'm just going to run it around both of those and tie it. there we go. Whoops. I haven't tied these in yet, so that's why that popped out, but so that's what we ended up with. I hope she'll like it. She really likes flowers and she likes magnolias, so this is a little bit different than I usually do, but hey, sometimes you have to do something different. So I hope y'all enjoyed that, and if you really like these, there is a lady on Facebook, and it's called Wood Ideas by Dory, D-O-R-E, and she sells all different ones. She doesn't just do the letters. She does like 4th of July, summer. There's just a ton of really cute ones. So I would check out her Facebook page, because you can order them from there. And I hope you enjoyed this, and please let me know what you thought, and subscribe and comment, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.